a lot of it has to do with me going to the gym. I I have to say this, I guess my priority is to go to the gym every. Sometimes, things come up, but I know it changes me mentally, it changes me physically and emotionally. Getting into the gym is like therapy session. I kid you not, I forget about everything that's going on, everything. When you walk into this place, you will come out a different person, but in a positive way.
It's time to lead the way. Let us show you how to reach your fitness goals once and for all. We aren't going to just show you the way. We are going to lead the way.
What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Sal, and this is the Lead the Way Fitness Podcast, where we bring everyday people to you, telling their everyday story on how life has been impacted through fitness. So I want to introduce to you a good friend of mine. Her name is Sheila. Sheila, say hi to the world.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Sal.
Sheila, when did you join the gym?
I actually joined January of 2018.
In November this year, I will have been there for 5 years. So Sheila has definitely been there for 5 years. She's seen us go through all the changes that we have gone through. So this is going to be a really cool one, guys. And Sheila has a very interesting story, team. So definitely listen up to what she has to say, her experiences, how she's overcome them, and where she's at currently. All right, so let's start. So Sheila, first, where are you from? Where'd you grow up at?
So I am originally from Mexico City. I grew up there until I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And then I was brought here to the United States. Well, we were coming here, on vacations with my parents, and all of a sudden my parents said, okay, let's just move countries and stay there. Nothing, let's just move countries. And we stayed here, and I grew up in the lovely city of Monrovia.
You're one of those few people that actually vacation in the United States.
Never went back.
Okay, rock and roll. And so you've been in Monrovia since?
And I've been in Monrovia ever since 1989. Not 2000, 1989.
Growing up, especially coming from a whole different culture, literally culturally growing up different in your first 8 years of life, what was it like in terms of were your parents health conscientious? What was the food dynamic like? What did they stress on you when it came to nutrition or food intake?
That was a difficult one. So I grew up, I guess you want to say the first 5 years with my grandma. My grandma, she cooked every day for us. She did the meals for us. I'm telling you, cooked from scratch, everything. So that was nice until I had to move to the United States. I moved to the United States and my mom never cooked.
Oh.
My mom never, I think the only thing she learned here in the United States was to open up cans. And she thought it was a lovely thing, but not for us. I grew up big all my life. We didn't go to restaurants, but it was mostly like, let's just grab some bread and ham, and there you go. Opening up cans of whatever was in the pantry. It was never like a meal. There was no nutrition. There was nobody that I could see, cooking or, nothing that I could learn from. Later, my grandma came and she started cooking for us. And that's how I learned how to cook. And at that time, I was already old enough to cook by myself. I was 16, 17. And I learned from her, but she did have a job. So she wasn't cooking for us all the time, only when she was off. Oh. So from there, I'm the oldest granddaughter. So guess what? I had to cook for everybody. So that's how I learned how to cook basic stuff, basic Mexican stuff. Nutritious? No, not nutritious, but it was what I learned how to cook.
Well, let me ask you specifically. So there's a couple of things you said that I really want to point out. One is having to eat canned foods and, like you said, slapping sandwiches together. I'm sure it's like something like Wonder Bread and ham, your Oscar Mayer ham. None of that stuff is nutritious. It's actually very, very porous. But having that mentality, that mindset of slap it together. A lot of people thinking you got to find ways to win. It's good to eat. It's definitely good to eat, but there are better food choices. Obviously, you saw that. But when you say that you had to cook and it wasn't nutritious, well, what were you cooking?
See, well, my grandma, would cook us Mexican food. Everything was fried. like rice and fried beans and fried tortillas and fried chicken. Everything was just not nutritious. And, Mexicans sit down and have 3 or 4 tortillas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then you fry them. So that is not nutritious at all. She cooks mole. She cooks all the exquisite stuff from Mexico, So it was just impossible to eat healthy. No veggies, no, no, no.
If there was, it was fried.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or in a can.
Yeah.
Which is worse.
I know, right? Which one is worse? That's the crazy thing about it. Because there is a lot of value in rice. There's a lot of value in the beefs. There's a lot of value in a lot of different things. But when you start frying everything and adding all that extra grease and adding lard, it's not so much that you're losing nutritional value, but you're now, you're gaining a lot of unhealthy things, a lot of cholesterol, fat, grease, things that could weigh you down, add weight to you, when rice is already a power food, right? Beans is already a power food, meaning you're going to get a lot of nutrition and you can gain some fat off of it. So you don't want to start adding the grease and the fried. So point being is you can actually make a great Mexican dish without deep frying everything, without frying everything. And I hope that, I know Sheila's learned that. So I want to point that out to everybody else, because we've had these conversations before. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So Sheila, how many siblings do you have?
1 sister.
Your sister. Okay. And your sister has come and trained with us before.
Yes.
Yeah. So we definitely miss you. You got to get back. I know you're doing your thing. I see her from time to time out on Myrtle. Yeah. Yeah. She knows.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Rock and roll. Okay. And then Sheila, you have two children. You have G and Gracie. So how old are they?
Gracie's 17. She's about to be 18 the end of this month. And my son just turned 15 in May.
He's playing football for Monrovia High?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. He seems excited. Yes. That's pretty cool. And Gracie just graduated, right? Or is it just
graduated? No, she just graduated in May, and she's starting college this August as well. And they have both been at Lead the Way. And, because of what you taught my son is the reason why he's so good on his positions and on his lifting weights, and because the coaches have told him he has great form, and that's all because of you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Working with G and working with Gracie, I always feel extra blessed when a person is willing to bring their family to come train with us, because that shows an enormous amount of trust, an enormous amount of respect. And so I'm always humbled. And so Sheila, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. And I won't let you down, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Sal.
Why did you join the gym? Why did you start working out? What was I heard you said you went into a septic shock at one point. So what was going on with your life?
Okay, so the reason why I joined the gym was because I don't know why I don't like going to normal gyms, like, the 24-hour fitness or any other gym. I just don't like to go to those gyms. I think it's because intimidation from one reason or another. I don't know. There's a lot of people. I'm not, I don't know. It's just weird. And I found this page on Facebook, and I met with Justin. And the reason why I said yes and I joined the gym was because it was a female trainer.
Was it Jessica?
It was Jessica. Yes.
Shout out to Jess. I know you out there, girl, still doing it.
Yes. And I was excited. It was a female. It was mostly females. It was, nice and small. And I was actually very excited. And I joined because it was a female trainer. The second part was because I needed to get into some type of physical activity. I don't run. I don't like running. I did swim for high school and college. I was a butterflyer.
Oh, wow.
In college and in high school. Yeah, the hardest stroke.
That's hard. That's a lot of energy right there.
Yes. So I know I have it in me somewhere, but I do. I saw this boot camp type of thing that I, I saw it. I said, I'll just give it a shot. Little did I know I was going to fall in love with it. I I started not even lifting a 5 pound dumbbell. Like I did not know how it worked. I didn't know how to do sit-ups. I
Hmm.
couldn't do a sit-up.
Hmm.
I couldn't do a lot of things. So I started not intimidated, but kind of like this is gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough, and it sure did. Then later, I'm diabetic.
Okay.
And the reason why I needed to get into some physical stuff is because I needed to get my numbers down.
Hmm.
And later, a few months later, I went into septic shock. I had a 50% chance of surviving,
Wow.
and that
Wow.
50% chance, you know, made it. It was I was at the hospital for 6 days. It was a near death experience. I have to tell you that.
I would
Um,
say, yeah, 50-50. That's big.
yeah, and I want to say the hardest part was to see my mom, across the room from me and
Hmm.
see her face. I think that was one of the hardest parts. And I said, I'm not going to put my mom through this anymore. So from then on, I've been pretty consistent at the gym.
I would say so. Yeah. I would say so. Absolutely. So you're diabetic, or you are diabetic. And so
Mhm.
you joined back in January 2017. For some reason, you felt comfortable enough because, like you said, at the big box gyms, you were intimidated. You didn't, there's a lot of things going on. You just didn't understand or know what to do. But for some reason, you came to us, and that went away. And it sounds like you felt the trust. You felt confident that this place, our place, would be able to help you through things, not knowing anything. But even then, you still didn't really change too much, it sounds like, because you still went into that situation with going into septic shock because of your blood sugar, I'm assuming.
It was we don't know exactly how it started. The doctors assumed it was because of a kidney infection, and that just
Mm.
kind of like, you know, it went all over the place. But thank God I'm here, and I'm at the gym because of my numbers. The gym keeps my numbers nice and low. So
That's what I'm
of
talking
course, it's the the food that you take and all that stuff. So I know what to do. I know what to eat, and the gym just kind of like helps me out on all of that stuff. I've been pretty lucky, I gotta say.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you made it through. I'm definitely glad you made it through. I got a friend out of it. So now, when you say we help you with that, was it meal guides? Was it the coaching, the nutrition? Like, what exactly has helped you start to realize, understand what is good for you, what isn't, what you should stay away from, what you shouldn't, what matters? Like, talk a little bit about that if you can.
Sure. Okay, so definitely I'm not one that follows the meal plans or anything like that. But I've done a couple of challenges with you guys.
Hmm.
And last year I did that 6 week challenge, where there was no sugar, no carbs, and no dairy.
So, little black dress.
Boy, yes.
Yeah, it's coming back.
And that challenge, um, and I gotta say this, I did it on a broken foot.
I remember.
Um, that challenge, the no sugar was tough. But man, till this day, it's been almost a year later. Sugar just doesn't. I mean, I don't crave chocolate. Things that are sweet, I just can't eat them anymore. Like I just can't. I want to say I cut the sugar for a good 4 or 5 weeks. The dairy, no problem, but the sugar, I said, I mean, there's sugar in
Everything. Yeah.
everything,
Yes,
everything, ketchup.
yes.
Like, what?
Ketchup has like 23 sugars or something. Ketchup is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was everything veggies and no dressings, no nothing. So that helped me out a lot. And I know, I know it's not the sugar that causes your diabetes, but sugar has a lot to do with your numbers when you're
Yeah,
diabetic.
exactly. Exactly.
So that is one of the things. Like, I never gave my kids soda. Till this day, my son is 50 years old, does not like soda, does not touch soda.
That's a huge win. That is a
And
huge win. There's not a lot of parents can say that. There isn't a lot of parents that can say that.
no. And juices, we don't drink juices because we know they're all sugar. My son, I kid you not, my son has a big old thing that he got for his football practice and drinks water like a camel. Oh my God, I just can't drink water. Man, that's all he drinks. But he's, and I like about that he, he's drinking nothing but water. He drinks Gatorade, but like when he needs his electrolytes. So I tell him, just drink one or two and that's it. But his go-to drink is water, So, I mean, that's one of the things that I'm thankful for because sugar is so addictive.
Well, I mean, speaking of the Little Black Dress Challenge, I love that plan we put together. It's the elimination diet, and we used it 2 different ways. We use it as a true elimination or as a Whole30 diet. You could use either or. And so that's what we put people through for Little Black Dress, which is coming back up here in a couple of weeks. So we're excited about that. That's always a fun time. You're right, because once you go through that time frame and where you're denying yourself these things, you start to recognize 2 things. One is that it was all mental. You don't need these things. You really don't. Once you deny yourself this is 6 weeks worth. Once you deny yourself, you start recognizing, hey, that was all mental. Like that was just literally mental. And 2 is how you feel when you actually reintroduce it. A lot of people get disgusted. Like if it feels like a drain, a sap on the body. And so I love that it's really impacted you in that way. And that Sheila trained with me in one of my semi-privates for almost a year and not unaware that she had a broken foot. Like she was just deadlifting, squatting, working it, and just taking the pain. So you gotta understand how tough Sheila is because she never told me. She was like, I'm good. And then all out of nowhere, it was like, hey, something's wrong with my foot. I need to go get checked out to a doctor. About a week later, my foot's broken in like 20 different places. I was like, what? So she sucked it up and went through it all, finished the challenge. She took your time off as you needed to. It was smart. But here's a funny thing is that when Sheila was off, we put her membership on hold. She got surgery on her foot. She took care of that. And I'm telling you guys, every month she would check in with me and she'd be like, I miss you guys. I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to come back to the point where as you can tell, it started revving up. I'm a few weeks away. I mean, literally it was like a countdown. And so that's when you know your life has changed and your mindset has changed when you're itching to get back into the gym and start working out again. So that to me, it brought a smile to my face throughout that whole time. What exactly about the gym did you miss when you were out?
Man, everything. Starting with the coaches. I mean, I love you guys. Like you have no idea. You guys changed my whole life. At the gym and outside of the gym. You guys are awesome. And then I've met a lot of great people at the gym.
Yeah.
A lot. Not all of them are from Monrovia, but I've met a lot of people and I've seen a lot of familiar faces. Some of them I sung with.
Nice.
Robin, I sung with her in high school.
Robin Chica?
Robin Chica.
Oh wow, she's on my podcast too. That's funny. That's so great.
Yes, I listened to it last week, and I did swim with her. I believe she's a year or 2 younger than I am, but
okay.
we were battling it, and we were league champs. Yes.
That's awesome.
So that's a history right there. And then the few people that I have had a really close relationship with, they become my friends, and it's that part has changed me. Meeting a lot of people that we are all struggling in different ways, but we're there for the same reason, to get healthy, to change something in our body. And of course, the nutrition, when you take it serious, and believe me, I'm taking it serious because next week I ordered my food with Sam.
Oh.
So I'm starting, to get ready for the Little Black Dress.
Let's rock and roll.
Challenge.
That's actually, that meal prep is going to come super in handy for Little Black Dress because the way that they make their food is exactly how we want it for that elimination diet. So that's good for you. Good choice. Getting ready already. Let's go.
Yeah. So getting ready for that. And of course, changing my kids' lives as an example, because last year I was in the lift weight competition.
That's
That
right.
was something I had never in a million years would have think I would do. It was really fun training. I can't wait to get back to training, not for lifting any weight, but just for me.
Yeah.
That was fun. I got to, well, actually, you helped me to get 230 squatting and
Yeah.
225, no,
On deadlift.
235 deadlift. Yes.
I remember.
And yeah, that was fun. On a broken foot. How fun was that?
That's crazy. See, and
Right?
that is crazy. I love that. The powerlifting competition is coming up again here in a couple of weeks as well. And so we're full circle here, Sheila. That's such a trip. It's a good time to talk. We are full circle. So in that time frame, you guys got to hear this. Okay. In that time frame, Sheila started training with me in my semi-private. I think it was January, December of 2020. And then
for any equipment.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, right? And then so January, December of 2020 or 2021, and then we trained pretty much the entire spring and into the summer. We did the powerlifting competition. She rocked it. I mean, it was awesome. That event, that was the first one I had ever participated in. Coach Christian, shout out to the man. He put it all together. He's a wizard at that. He's doing it again this time. And then seeing everybody bring their family out. And I remember G and Gracie being there, and they were super proud of you. And you can see it in their face. Like, they're like, holy crap, like this is what my mom is doing. So you're definitely an example to them. And you could see it. You could see it in the way they do things, Sheila. So you're an awesome mom at that point. And then you did the little black dress and the elimination diet. And you've been successful in so many different things. I want to go back to what you were talking about with the diabetes in regards to how you were saying, it's not the sugar that's the issue, but it's what causes a problem though. So you're right. It's fat buildup. It's fat buildup in your arteries that doesn't allow your arteries to disperse the sugar properly. And so then your sugar goes out of control, and then your insulin goes out of control, and that becomes unbalanced. So you're right. And I don't think a lot of people understand that because they're just scared of carbs.
Yeah.
Sugar. And you're right. There's sugar in almost everything. Well, the reality of it is there's sugar in practically everything because sugar itself is just another term for carbohydrate. It's the same thing. And so when you eat carb, and your body needs those things, but it's a matter of how clean you eat, how often you eat clean, where that fat plaque buildup doesn't get into the arteries, and you are able to handle the sugar better. And this is, of course, for type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is a completely different thing.
Right.
But have you been able to get off your medications? Are you on medication still, or where are you at? I know you said you keep your numbers low.
Yes, I have been taken off one medication because my sugar was dropping way too much. I mean, way too much means I was getting up with a 34, 46 blood sugar.
Wow.
Mind you, a normal blood sugar is between 90 and 120.
Yeah.
And I've had a few scares, so I got taken off a medication because of that reason. My numbers were just dropping way too much and way too often too. So adjustments had to be done, and I got off that medication. I still have to take the other two just to prevent because of my kidney infection. It's a blood pressure medication, but it's used to kind of like protect the kidneys, and it's very low dosage, 2.5.
Okay.
2.5, just to protect the kidneys so that no infections come along. But other than that, I mean, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have cholesterol, I don't have none of that stuff because I try to eat as healthy as possible.
That's what I'm talking about.
So yeah.
So what's your next goal, Sheila? I know you said you're eyeing Little Black Dress. What are you working towards? You're eyeing to get back into the. So Sheila currently is only doing our boot camp program, which even our boot camp program, at times it's a variation of boot camp and just straight up strength training. But that's a 30-minute long session. You've been doing that since you've been back, getting back onto the horse, doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. I heard you say you're eyeing getting back into like serious weight training, and you want the little black dress. What are you shooting for? What are you aiming for?
I really want to get my percentage lower, my fat percentage.
Okay.
I believe I got it down to 30 last year. And I did it during the whole, and I mean, getting back to it, or maybe even lower, maybe like even a 27 would be good.
That would be awesome, Sheila.
Yeah, and that's what I'm shooting for. But right now I'm focusing, one step at a time, and that is to completely heal from my foot. I still have a little bit of modifications on the jumping. I can't jump. I can put a lot of, slams or stuff like that. I can't do. But my number one priority is to get that fully recover my foot.
Rock and roll.
So that's gonna take a few months, but I'm heading there. Everything looks good.
Well, and why do you think that is? Why has everything been progressing so well? What do you attribute that to?
A lot of it has to do with me going to the gym. I have to say this, I guess my priority is to go to the gym every. Sometimes, things come up, but I know it changes me mentally, it changes me physically and emotionally. Getting into the gym is like therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, I forget about everything that's going on. Everything. I focus on my breathing, on my form, on how many sets Sal wants me to get done, and to avoid the soreness from the previous day.
That's awesome. I'm gonna start writing them on the board too, so you guys can see it. So I don't just tell you guys. I'm gonna start writing them on the board. I love that. So that's what the gym is for me too. It is a place where I forget everything around me. That's my time. It's 100% my time for me. I'm like zoned into who I am, my strength, my power, my abilities, and how I can grow them, how I could get better. You're a very successful person. I know that you do well outside. You have a great job. You have a great career. You've done a lot of great things, Sheila. People who have a regular, habitual, consistent cycle at the gym typically have same thing in other aspects of their life. I tell people this all the time. What you do on the mat is what you do in life. So what you do on the gym floor is how you work life. So if you come into the gym floor and you're focused, like you said, working, pushing, take that time to yourself to really develop yourself to get better, guess what? When you go to work, you're focused, you're ready, you're doing your job at the best of your ability, and you're looking at ways to get better. When you're parenting, you're focused, you're aware, you're looking at ways to get better. Like what you do there is how you live your life everywhere else. And so I've noticed that most successful people have a regular cycle at the gym or something health and fitness wise that focuses, sharpens their mind and their habits. And it's an awesome thing to see it. It's a true point. It really is. And Sheila, if you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm 43, about to be 44 next week.
Next week, rock and roll. Happy early birthday. So then that means you were 38 when you started working out?
Yes.
So for people who are hesitant because of all the obstacles and challenges they might find in their life, they're too old, they're too heavy, they don't know what to do, they have conditions. What would you, any other reason that somebody might throw out there, because there's hundreds of them, what would you say to that person to get them over the hump and get them to walk into a gym?
Man, there's a lot of things, but I think the main one is that when you walk into that gym, it doesn't matter what you look like, how tall you are, how dark you are, what language you speak. It's the way that people make you feel in there. I have not seen any negativity in that gym at all. But people, just smile at you, you work out, you high five them. They make you feel as if you knew them for a long time, as if you were best friends. And that is a big thing for people nowadays, to make them change. Or sometimes somebody's struggling lifting, and it's just like, just keep going, don't stop. It's hard at one time that you're doing a set or whatever. But if you see other people working out, it's just, nice to have that smile, that hello, that hi, how you doing? I'm sore. Whatever the issue is, you just share it with them. And it's really nice to feel comfortable in a place where you're just gonna go and just get your butt kicked every day.
I asked Sheila in general. I want to point out, because this is one of those moments where we get to toot our own horn, that she's specifically talking about Lead the Way Fitness. 100%. That is literally our creed, our motto: culture of positivity, win together, lead from the front. That is how we build our facility. And she's right. She's 1,000% right that you will always feel welcome. No negativity is allowed. I have kicked people out personally. I don't care about the money. I care about the culture. I care about the people. And so when we are focused in that sense, team, I'm telling you, if you're looking for a gym, if you are hesitant because you don't know where to go, and you live close or near to Monrovia, California, come on out. I'm telling you, come on out, take a day, train with us. You'll see exactly what Sheila's talking about. I'm telling you, we work hard to work with you. We work hard to work with you to overcome your obstacles and your struggles. We're going to get you to where you want to be. That's what coaching is. That's what coaching does. That's why we're not trainers. We're all trainers by profession, but we are coaches through our lifestyle. So I hope to see so many of you out sometime soon. Sheila, do you want to leave the crowd with anything?
Just one thing, and that is that when you walk into this place, you will come out a different person, but in a positive way. Meaning you will want to get back in the gym and get your butt kicked once again and want to keep on coming back.
Feel comfortable at a place you're gonna get your butt kicked. We gotta coin that. That is awesome. I appreciate that, Sheila. Sheila, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. I sincerely appreciate you, my friend. I promise I won't let up on you, but I'll always be there for you when you need me. And so let's rock and roll. Let's keep doing it, Sheila. Happy early birthday. I'll tell you happy birthday on the same day as well. Have a great weekend. Everybody, we are on all social media platforms. We are on IG. We're on TikTok. We are on Facebook. Monrovia, California. Rancho Cucamonga, California. If you are anywhere close to those areas, come check us out. I promise you, we will do our best to help you and change the direction and the course of your life is headed. All right, with that, lead the way.